this system is one of the most simple. I know we've been kind of like in the heavier topics for a little bit, but we're going to switch gears here today. And I know you're going to like it because it's going to make you money. And that's fun. That's freaking fun. So when it comes to what you have in the salon for people to purchase, and we've already talked about retail and that you should have something, whether that is, you know, shampoo and conditioner that you sell, like wet lines, right? Like retail items, beauty care, hair care items, or maybe you have boutique items as well, or you sell beauty adjacent things, whatever you freaking sell, tangible items in the salon. You need to re-merchandise what you have from time to time. Now, that can be as simple as just moving stuff around, or it can mean like fully redecorating your retail area, right? Like starting again. It can be something as simple as new shelf talkers. It can be something, honestly, like as big a deal as painting the walls, like behind it, or putting, you know, color blocks of color on the wall behind the retail. You know, it's interesting because a long time ago people were like, don't have a mirror behind your retail, like it will never sell. And actually, no, you want to know some real tea? A woman from a very prominent brand that I actually love, but she was such a royal biscuit. Like, I actually, like, there are not many people in my interactions in business that I would be like, you know, I just really don't care for that person. She's one of them, one of the few. But she really rubbed me the wrong way from the first day, and then she wanted my business. I was like, which please? Anyways, she was like, you will never sell retail. She came into my salon. It was like 2 weeks old. It was literally a baby salon, fully finished, brand freaking new. And she tore it apart based on the fact that I would never sell retail. She tried to big time me with all this knowledge, and she was an adult and I was 20. So I guess it's good for her. She probably felt really good when she left. But I just remember like being lit up over it. Lit up because we had a mirror behind all of our retail displays. And I was like, guess who's gonna sell a freaking F ton of retail? This girl. So thank you, actually. You know who you are. No, I won't even say her name. Like she's a Voldemort. Not really, but I won't say her name because that would be unkind. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, though, I learned through this, like, about the you probably shouldn't have mirror behind your retail. Like, she wasn't wrong, but it just because you can see holes. And so that's one of the main premises of merchandising, that something that can be as incredibly simple to do, but you just don't think about it, and it's just pulling it forward and making it look full. Just make it look full. That's it. Make it look full. And that's why you don't want a mirror behind it, because it can look empty. It can also look like there's a lot more of it, you know, like when you're a kid and you stand in the mirror and you're like, whoa, look at, I have 1,000 arms or whatever. But did you do that? You must have done that. Regardless, you pull it forward, you make your shelves look full. That can be re-merchandising. You can fully re-merchandise by like changing your displays. You can, I mean, literally the possibilities are endless in how you re-merchandise, but the main point is that you do re-merchandise. Because if your shelves are exactly the same as they have been, if the product is in the exact same place that it has been for years, that's not exciting to the eye, and it's not exciting to a visual consumer, right? We want to desire that thing. We've talked about that. If you've been inside of SQ and Salon Quarterly, my signature online course, you know all about like desire-based selling and serving our clients. And from there, you know that it has to look good, right? Like, this is a visual thing. Like, you can't give somebody a terrible haircut and then be like, oh, it's great. Like, I mean, I know people do that, but that's not necessarily like, you know, that's not what we're talking about here, okay? Like, you know, it has to look good. Like, we're in a visual business. Everything needs to look good. And so with that being said, like, you have to re-merchandise. So I love baskets, I love containers, I love elevation change. Go look at like your favorite retail store and just like take pictures. Don't be a weirdo, but like, you know, if it seems okay to take a picture, take a picture. I love to look at Nordstrom's, Anthropologie, even Target, their merchandising, although they have merchandising that is set up for anti-theft, right? And more of their, like, when they set up, they're thinking about theft, because Target is, they have a lot of theft, right? They probably have more, I don't know if they have more theft than Nordstrom's, but probably feels like it. Wait, okay. This guy, we have construction, and he told me to go and then told somebody else to go at the same time. Anyways, so like, you want to think about that too, of course, but in the salon, I'm hopeful that you don't have high theft and high loss, but you can think about merchandising that's just fun. Now, what I wouldn't do is merchandise and put your most expensive stuff like by the front door. I wouldn't have like tiny grab and go items really low where like it could be something that somebody just like pockets. But we're not talking about loss and theft right now. We're talking about re-merchandising to make it fun and exciting. So some of the things you can do, obviously shelf talkers, make everything look full. Build a little boutique within the display. Like, set it up, make it look great. Now, don't be distracting or take away from the impact of the item, but like, let it shine. Like, set it up for success. And if you're gonna paint the wall. Like, I did that and loved that for a while. We painted the wall a couple different times over when we had the retail wall. We don't have that same wall anymore. It got knocked down when we did our big remodel, but you know, we changed it because that was like, it was part of merchandising. Like, we shifted in the boutique in the boutique and in our retail items, like kind of how we were presenting. You could have new tags made. You could have new bags or tissue, like in your sales process, so that people see that bag and they're like, oh, I want that bag, right? You could do permanent bags, shoppers, these sort of things. You just need to make sure you don't lose your rear end on those in pricing. This kind of stuff is like super easy to do. Yeah, it costs a little bit of money, but like re-merchandising and filling up your shelves, like pulling back stock and just making sure they're full, like that doesn't cost you anything. Like, you already have the product, just pull it forward, make it look right. If you only have 2 of some things and 6 of others, make 2 rows of the one that you have 6. Like, fill it up. Now, there is a fine line, because I made this mistake. I told one of my receptionists, I said, we need it to look full. Like, it needs to look full and look like nobody wants a leftover. And so I said that, and then the next day I came in and I was like, we look like literally like Marshalls. Like, it's very full, but not shoppable. This is not cute or looks good to the eye. So like, honestly, like, I didn't give a great instruction there. That was me. I should have said, like, we need the shelves full to on-hand quantity, not like we need to see every freaking product we ever had in backstock ever on the shelf at once, to where like, no, if you touch it, the whole thing is gonna like fall apart like a house of cards. So there's a fine line, but you need to use your eye and know about your target customer and like what that looks like and what looks good to you, because you are setting the tone for the salon. I highly recommend shelf talkers that are interactive, meaning like it's not from the like the company just being like, this is dry shampoo and it's awesome. Like, have it be interactive where they recognize like a picture of a stylist on your shelf talker. This sort of stuff when it comes to your merchandising and re-merchandising. But really, at the end of the day, just move the stuff around. Just freaking move it. It's the simplest system. Do it quarterly, move stuff around. If you have a wall of Amika, like we do, like a shelfie, you know, like it's great and people take a picture in front of it because it's so bright and vibrant. Like, just like rotate shelves up and down. Like, if that's where the Amika lives and that's your retail area, great, leave it there. We have 3 predominant retail areas in our salon, and we will rotate. Like, I think we're gonna actually switch, and sometimes you're like stuck based on like capacity, physical capacity, like, but we're gonna switch the Amika and the Unite here pretty soon in the salon, and then we may end up switching the Redken and the Amika like next quarter. I just haven't decided if we're gonna bring in more Redken. because we would need more to fill it up. We also, in the past, had 2 Amica shoppable areas. That was really fun because then they saw it when they come in and they see it when they're in the salon, like in the back of the salon. That was kind of interesting. Worked really well for us for a long time. And we re-merchandised often. Signage, shelf talkers, like physical items that would draw attention, like for holiday, like are you putting little Christmas trees or little snowflakes or like little red bows on everything? So you're like, oh, it's a present. Don't forget, everyone likes to buy presents for themselves. Like, I am my most favorite person to shop for in the holidays, and I don't think I know anyone who disagrees with that statement. I know that some people are actually true saints and they love to buy for other people, and so do I. But most people really like to buy for themselves. So don't forget that as you're merchandising. Like you're selling to your target customer in the salon. This could be a whole video in itself, and maybe it will be. But like you're not actually, your holiday stuff is not actually set up to be gifts. Like that's like, yeah, sure. Like some people will buy gifts, absolutely. But that's not your target. Like that's not your strongest marketing play in the salon, in my opinion. Anyways, I digress. We can talk about that maybe tomorrow. Ultimately, when it comes to merchandising and re-merchandising in the salon, you just must have a plan and execute it. The main thing is that you make something look different so that people notice it. If it always looks the same, they're not gonna buy it because they're not going to be visually attracted to it. Their eye isn't gonna notice it, and therefore your sales will be stagnant.